Plenty Valley FM presents Sig's Flicks.
And the big man of movies today is going to be talking about some, what would you call it, Supermen. So it's a very good morning to you, Sig.
Yes, Bill, how are you? And welcome back to the fair shores of Australia from you.
Thank you very, very much, mate. Thank you. And we come across some boats that come out of Seattle, so that's part of your world, isn't it?
It is indeed. I was extensive travels in Canada, I believe, from my they're very near my home up in the northwestern states in Washington. But yeah, it's a gorgeous country up there. I'm glad you're able to experience it.
Beautiful. Now, what are we going to experience today on the silver screen that you've that's brought them to your attention?
Well, I got a couple of superheroes films with the extension of some sequels going through there. We got The Flash and we got Spider-Man coming. But before we do that, just a reminder. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I said, "You got to catch the Dying Weeks." Well, not Dying Weeks. Still several chances to see the Spanish Film Festival, which I've mentioned a few times in previous weeks, and they didn't really know about it. Oh, come on now! I mentioned it many weeks, so I thought I'd better little plug again. The Spanish Film Festival is screening now, right through to July 5, and you can see lots of good films there. In particular, the wonderful one, Greg Mortimer, which is about that incredible cruise ship that got stranded during COVID and couldn't port anywhere. And it's very rarely you have a suspenseful documentary, and that's the case with this one. So several films you can check out, including that one. Also, I want to remind you, again, in case you might have missed it, the ACME exhibit, Goddess, Screen Goddesses, is screening exhibit's not screening. There are lots of screenings available in the exhibit down at ACME, as I said, right through to October. So you've still got plenty of chances to see that one. Lots of costumes and interviews and clips and all memorabilia from screen actresses throughout the decades. So a couple of little reminders there for you to check out.
Beautiful. Yeah, the Spanish Film Festival usually throws up a few good ones.
Oh, yeah. We particularly like that Greg Mortimer one I mentioned. There's some good ones to practice my schoolboy Spanish. It's good if you learn a language or have learned a language. You're a bit rusty, you can follow along, although the Spanish speak very quickly.
Si.
You can hear some of the words you recognize in addition to the English subtitles, all of them with English subtitles, of course.
Yeah. Now we're going to go across to some of your childhood heroes. Yeah,
there's lots of superheroes on there. Superhero special here on Six Flicks on Valley Lifestyles on your local station, 88.6 Plenty Valley FM. we have The Flash, and this is from director Andy Muschietti, and this is really expands on some of the superheroes from the DC comic universe. We have Ezra Miller playing the role of Flash himself in different universes, multiverses, previous and future, going through. We've also got a real cast of thousands. We've got Michael Keaton coming back as Batman. We've got Michael Shannon, always destined to play the villain, playing the Vulture. Ron Livingston. We got Ben Affleck, again, another Batman. Jeremy Irons. Gal Gadot actually comes back as Superwoman. Where did she come from? And helps save things on it. Tamara Morrison, a fantastic New Zealand actor, is in this one, and several others. And we have lots of things happening.
So the Flash needed a bit of assistance from the older ones.
Yeah, well, exactly. There are some in the multiverses, some of the previous incarnations of various Flash people and other superheroes. It gets a little bit confusing as he goes back in time. He discovers the Flash. He can run so fast. He can actually go faster than the speed of light, and he can go back in time. And he says you might want to go back and fix a few things. Miller.
It's a bit like radio, mate.
Sorry, again?
A bit like radio.
Yeah, well, yeah. We try to do that a bit. We are superheroes on the airwaves. But, we got Ezra Miller playing the role once again as Barry Allen, the alter ego, and he goes back and he has. It's not meant to happen, but he does meet himself and a digitally enhanced version of an earlier personage, and they have discussions, and this gets a little bit interesting. And he's actually a pretty socially awkward, insecure kid, a bit of a nerd. He works for our alter ego Barry Allen, who it becomes the Flash, and he is a forensic scientist in the crime laboratories, and he wants to prove that his father is innocent of killing his mother, and he goes through there, and he actually became the Flash by when a lightning struck and doused some of the chemicals, and he acquired his superheroes from the chemical accident there. So we got an opening scene where he's had a little trouble going through things because Batman is otherwise engaged doing something else. So it's up to him as a second stringer to rescue babies from a collapsing hospital. And it's been widely criticized as being very poor special effects in this one because it looks pretty suspect. But we're actually meant to see this from Barry and the Flash's point of view, and it's meant to be that way according to the director, so we don't know whether it's a story, but that's the way it is. But he decides, or he discovers that he can travel back in time if he runs fast as well, and he tries to go back and prevent the murder of his mother. And he also meets several other superheroes. We have lots of cameos in this one. I'm not going to give them away to spoil the surprise with the previous people, which he's interacted with going back in time and also into the future. So we can have what goes there. And there's some incredible special effects, and it's quite special effects is just going really amazing nowadays. You see some things, although some of them are not the best intentionally, as I mentioned earlier. But we have him meeting himself earlier, and we have once again, as I say, General Zod, played by Michael Shannon, destined to play villains, and he's playing to destroy the world. And excuse me 1 minute.
Sure thing. And is this a good picture or a movie for the school holidays?
Oh, it is definitely, yeah. And I think that's probably a lot of the reason for the release date to match with school holidays, because it fits right in with that one. In addition to the one coming up shortly, Spider-Man. So it's going to be, I'm sure, followed by the kids with that one.
Beautiful.
Back, Michael Shannon. Yeah, Michael Shannon plays the villain, and he's going to try to destroy the world, as you imagine. And apparently he can't. It goes back in the past. Apparently Superman's being held prisoner, and they want to try and go back and discover him. And when they do, they find Supergirl being held prisoner, and they try. She's held back from going Superman's cousin from realizing her superpowers on Earth. So it gets a bit crazy there.
So how could they hold Superman?
Oh, he was held in Russia, I think. He's in a kryptonite fortress.
Bloody Putin again?
Prisoner. Excuse me?
Putin again?
Yeah, they did. They're trying. But the situation then, it goes where they've got lots of themes that covered in this one, and it's pretty funny, although not real funny. And some of the they're trying to get some of the action balanced with nerdy insecurity from our teenage Flash, and that falls flat a bit sometimes. And some of the humor is pretty average. As I said, there's lots of cameos. Gal Gadot comes back as Superwoman, and several others they go through there. So. Directed by Andrew Muschietti. This is his first non-horror film. He's done films like It, Chapter 2 as well. And it's pretty long, and sometimes I think it's a bit overlong, at well over 2 hours. We could be a little bit more succinct to keep you out there. So that one is screening right now, and you want to check it out, called The Flash. And it's a lot of fun, although a few little problems, as I mentioned. Now, will I go on to the next one?
Yeah, we've cleared all commitments, mate. So we can get the Spider-Man and Across the Spider-Verse. What's the Spider-Verse?
Well, the Spider-Verse, we have, much like the Flash, we've got many multiverses going on. We go across through other alternate universes existing at the same time, and this is a good way for some of these films. This one is more of the Marvel series, and to be following on from the DC films like The Flash. And they've mined some of these films and get more storylines out of it, so we can see more sequels and prequels and sidebar films. So we got the multiverses here. So this one is pretty visually spectacular and goes through many things, and it's quite thrilling, and a lot of course, as you can imagine, really good special effects. And again, it tries to be funny a bit and self-deprecating, and doesn't quite work. Maybe I'm becoming an old grouch. I didn't find it very funny. No comment, Bruce. I'm sorry, Bill.
That's a multi-loop.
Yeah, Bruce is your Bill in the multiverse. But yeah, we have several people going here. First of all, a young Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and he gets a little bit of help in the beginning from Spider-Woman, who comes in there from a multiverse. And once again, we got pretty incredible animation for going through. First of all, actually, there's an incredible air dogfight involving helicopter, which was quite amazing and quite thrilling. But we actually introduced the Spider-Verse films into the Spider-Verse back in 2018, and that's where we started to travel into different dimensions. So we got Michael Keaton comes back to play the Vulture, and also several others. And there are apparently holes in the multiverse, and Spider-Man is up to him to plug them up, and so we can, as you can imagine, save the world.
Fantastic.
Yeah, it's pretty incredible the way things go through. And again, Spider-Woman comes back, and from different dimensions, we have different ones. Shelley Lake Moore and Haley Steinfeld return in their roles in that one. So we've got stories with the young people trying to work out their identities and move away from their parents and grow up, and all the time trying to hide the fact that they are indeed, well, superheroes. But Spider-Man's got to make a decision, a bad decision. Sometimes, what do? You save one life, or you save several of the worlds in the multiverse, and it gets incredible there. This is a very involved film because it had three directors, Joaquin De Santos, Kemp Powers, and Justin Thompson, and three screenwriters, Philip Lord, Christopher Miller, and David Callahan. And we worked through this thing, and it's got a lot of input on this one. And we have hundreds of Spider people in the various different multiverses. And this one, Spider-Man, back up in 2099, he goes to meet the elite Spider people, and there are Spider people all around, and incredible. Another villain, of course, Jason Schwartzman plays the villain, the Spot, and he is all up against our Spider-Man and trying to prevent him from doing things as well. And we've got another Spider-Man in a different multiverse. Daniel Kaluuya, Oscar winner, plays that one, and he's pretty crazy. We got a pregnant motorbike riding Spider-Woman. We got an Indian Spider-Man straight out of Bollywood. We got it gets real complicated, Bill, to a lot of these things.
And,
it's amazing,
and we have to call it quits there because we've got the man waiting in the other studio. So,
out of time.
yeah, we'll have the man people coming up very shortly. So thanks for your time today, Sig, and we'll catch up with Hillary and Tony next week. Thank you.